We are tonight's entertainment.
What the fuck is this, Jet?
This is a tasty burger.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
You like Huey Lewis in the news?
Is this your homework, Larry?
Why don't you spill your beans?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Evil dies tonight!
Evil dies tonight!
If that was you on the phone and you on the bus, then who was flickering the lights?
Welcome back
to the Spooky Scoop.
Just a disclaimer. I'm tired.
I can tell.
Yeah.
You've been giving me... I came in here excited because I have cool things to talk about, and you've been giving me... I just feel hate radiating off of you, which is...
I wouldn't say it's hate.
It feels like hate.
It's more a disgust.
I was eating chocolate, didn't like that, and then I tried to turn off the fan for possibly interference with the audio.
I start recording. Here's what happened, is when you start a podcast, you hit record. And I hit record, and then Carl goes, "You want me to turn that tower off?"
Yeah.
So then I have to stop recording.
Because we had stopped the mic test, and then I hear a whirring occur. And I'm like, oh shit, we have possible interference.
No. How about let me worry about it?
Well,
you worry about your podcast chocolate. And other stupid shit.
Stuck some Halloween candy. I'm setting the tone, dude. I stuck some Halloween candy in here.
Yeah, but I'm just putting out that disclaimer. Because, people get upset when the scoop's late. So... Can't let the scoop be late, so I'm just doing it now, and I'm a little tired.
Listen, don't let them interfere.
But maybe the scoop will give me juice.
I think so. I got some crazy shit to talk about.
It could be, when you get two magnets, and you flip them, and you push them together, and they feed off of each other.
Yeah.
That's me in the scoop.
Yeah.
We're feeding off of each
Tell you
other.
what, though, sometimes I come in here tired, but seeing you laying down like that, I just always perk up. I'm always at fucking... It's like drinking a Monster.
You are something. You're something. Only news is... I don't think we've talked about it. Jon Stewart was cast.
Ooh, who'd they pick up?
My boy. Midsize sedan.
Dude. That's fucking awesome.
My fucking boy. There's been a lot of discourse around the casting because there's a lot of people that are upset that his skin isn't dark enough to play Jon Stewart.
I never thought that once.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this could be not my room, my place to talk on something like this. But I think that that's stupid. I think that you're basically discriminating against someone and saying that you're not black enough to play this character. And I just feel like that's fucked up. And I don't get it. I mean, he's black. He's an African American male. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I just don't really care.
I don't really care about race in general when castings are being
that's
made.
That's the point.
They could have. A part of me wanted Aaron Pierre to be Batman, and I threw that out there.
Sedan's name?
Yeah,
I still am not familiar enough with him as I should be.
I feel like he'd be a great Batman, and
probably.
I'm sure there would
He's
be
got a great voice for it too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there'd be a huge outrage by a bunch of racists online that don't want it. But I don't think Batman being white is integral to his character. I don't think there's certain things you just shouldn't change. You don't make a white Blade. You don't make a white Black Panther. But that also has to do with the fact that there's so many white superheroes and there's so few black ones. So you don't want to take away the few that are already black, Yeah. But in general, I just don't really care. Just make the move. Just cast a good actor, and make a good movie, and you got me.
Yeah,
that's all that I care about.
I just care about whoever's the most fit for the job. If someone was like, "Hey, do I take I'm trying to think of a shitty actor.
Sam Worthington.
Yeah, Sam Worthington or Mahershala Ali to play Superman. Fucking do anything but Mahershala all day, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't care.
It just doesn't matter.
I want talent on the screen.
Yeah.
And you've got more, you know more about mid-size than I do, because I don't want to see him in old, I think.
I mean, he's not been in a lot. He's in Old, and then I saw him in Rebel Ridge, which I loved.
Yeah, but it sounds like Rebel Ridge was his big shining moment, and I haven't gotten to see that.
He's in the new Mufasa movie that's coming out in December.
Was he playing Scar?
I think he's playing Mufasa. I want to say. But he's been like a supporting character in a couple movies, but not like... Rebel Ridge was the first movie he was the lead of, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I just think he's a great actor. I mean, I've seen one movie where he's the lead, and he's the standout of a great movie. Like, that's how good he is that even though the movie was already good, just from the writing, he was the standout. That's how good he is. And he's got the physicality. He's a huge dude, and I just love that casting. He was who I wanted. I wanted him or Trevante Rhodes. So I'm happy that they went with him, because he's also like a really sweet guy.
Oh, really?
If you watch his interviews, he's British.
Holy shit!
Caught me off guard.
That's huge.
Yeah, it caught me off guard. I didn't expect that at all, because his American accent's so good.
Yeah,
like you watch Old, and you're gonna be like,
he was American.
Yeah, he's a British actor playing mid-sized sedan. No,
mid-sized sedan.
That he's a madman. But yeah, I'm excited for him. I think that's great casting, and people should just not worry too much about someone like they cast a black guy for a black role, and there's still a problem. Like, there's still an issue. I just don't get it, man.
I just want to see skill. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
High execution, fucking people doing shit. Like, I don't care about anything else.
Yep. But Lanterns is gearing up to be made soon.
Blow your fucking pants off, dude.
I think it's filming in January.
Lanterns was they said, True Detective in Space.
Yeah.
God bless, dude.
Yeah, that's just going to become...
Yeah.
I'm going to need a lot of socks.
And I'm so happy Green Lantern... I want this to be successful, because I feel like Green Lantern has, like, no love whatsoever.
Well, Josh Brolin turned down the role because of the public reputation of Green Lantern.
Really?
Because of Ryan Reynolds' movie. People think Green Lantern sucks.
Yeah, people think
that's the only movie there is
that
people have seen, and it's bad, so they just assume the character's bad.
Yeah. But you can do, like... His power, like, on paper doesn't sound that cool, but visually you can pull off so much.
No, it's so fucking cool.
And then, like, also him being intergalactic is a huge, huge level of visuals that you can do with all kinds of crazy shit. Like, you have no limits with Green Lantern. Yeah. You can go to different planets. He can make whatever he can imagine. Mm-hmm. Like, you have complete free reign of everything. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. But that's all the news, so I'll go ahead and start my trivia.
All right.
In The Lighthouse, why does Thomas Wake say it's bad luck to kill a seabird?
You know what? I almost asked you this question last episode. They're the souls of dead sailors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct.
I knew that without looking it up. I was like, Cash is going to get this too quick.
Yeah. What is the highest grossing horror film of all time?
Horror film of all time. Oh, I know this. Wait, no, I don't. I was going to say Paranormal Activity at first because they had the lowest budget.
Yeah.
But most money made.
I think in terms of what's the term? Return on investment, like
highest profit?
The highest profit margin, I believe, is Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Because it was like $10,000 production, and they made like $100 million.
Yeah, that's where my head went like immediately.
Yeah, but no, that's not close to the highest selling.
I don't think I know. I'll throw out a couple of random ones, but Silence of the Lambs.
No.
Get Out.
No.
I don't think I know.
You're just thinking of the best ones, not what would make the most money.
ones that would make the most money. It'd have to be like a sequel to
What's
something.
one of the most mainstream horror movies that everyone loves, that everyone has seen?
The Conjuring?
No.
Insidious?
No.
I'm trying to think of new age horror. People like Annabelle, even though it's terrible. I don't think I know.
It's It.
It? Holy cow. Yeah, I would have never guessed it.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't think that it was like... I just didn't like associate that.
No,
with,
that
like,
would be one of my
super high numbers.
biggest, like one of my first guesses.
No, it makes total sense now that like I hear it. But I was thinking more like...
It's like a character with name value that everyone
Yeah.
already liked
And it's
from
a
the 90s.
remake, so people are...
The
are
trailers
jumping
were
on
really
it.
good. The cast is really good. It's it's like not family friendly, but it's people
It's got heart.
like
Where you-
some people will get scared to watch like The Conjuring, but not It,
Yeah.
because it's just different.
Yeah.
It's just goofier, but yeah. And then who directed Let Me In?
That was Reeves.
Yeah,
I almost stumbled for a second.
I didn't
because-
know if that would be like so obvious that you forget.
Well, when you said "Let Me In," I initially thought of the original one. I have no idea who directed the original one.
Yeah,
And then I was like, "Oh wait, no, it's Reeves."
yeah.
You know, we talked about that enough, and I still need to rewatch it.
Well, we talk about Matt Reeves every episode, so
Yeah, we talk about his huge Johnson.
Yep.
All right, my trivia. I tried to pick some hard stuff on this one, but I'll start with my easiest one in my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
What is the name of the son in Pet Sematary?
I don't know.
Do you remember the name of the sister with the fucked up back?
No.
Oh, okay. Son's name was Gage.
Mm.
Sister's name was Zelda, which is a video game character.
Yeah.
Sorry, I remember she... Rachel! That's how she
fan.
sounds. Yeah.
Not a fan of that.
Guess the movie by the cast. This one would be fucking impossible for me, but there's one person that helps a lot. But
Okay.
Lizzie Kaplan, Jessica Lucas, T.J. Miller.
Cloverfield?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nailed it.
What do you know? More Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
We're just going to change this to the Reeves scoop.
Yeah. What's Reeves doing? That's what we're going to talk
Yeah.
about. What are the first lines in the book found in the Babadook?
Isn't it like onomatopoeia?
I mean, no. It all rhymes. It's supposed to be like a Dr. Seuss book.
I don't know.
And this is kind of creepy, but if it's in a word or if it's in a book, you can't escape the Babadook.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, holy shit.
That's pretty creepy.
That is super creepy. Then you got the fucking him like hovering over the mom, screaming, "Let me in."
Yeah. I just thought that book had a lot of like sounds, like of him knocking.
Yeah, that's like later on. It'll be like, I think it does the knock, knock, knock.
Mm-hmm.
Or that might be just like "Let me in" is like a text bubble in the book. So maybe "knock, knock" is a text bubble in the book.
Hell yeah. You can go ahead and do your real reveal first.
All right, I'm ready. I think
I
these
meant
are
the
kinda
opposite,
hard.
but all right.
Okay, I can pick some.
It's all right. I'll do release year.
Okay. Release year is 2016.
Don't breathe.
No.
The Conjuring 2.
No.
What's my rating?
All right, let me add this up. It's 22 so far. It's 5 points per guess.
Mm-hmm.
Your letterbox score was a 3.5. Probably a little high for this movie. I don't think you've thought about it since it released. Maybe I'm wrong, though.
(2016) 3.5. That's all I know? 2016, 3.5?
Yeah.
Is it Hush?
It's not Hush.
Okay, this is rough. Should I guess?
We never talk about this movie, and I had like purposely picked one with like several movies in that year to try and keep you from doing what's the release year and then instantly knowing the movie.
Yeah. Give me the director.
David F. Sandberg.
Oh, Lights Out.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yep. That's how you
That's
do
how
it.
it's done. That's
Yep.
how it's done.
What was my score?
52.
Yeesh. Not good.
I have a feeling your chances are still pretty good.
They are. Because I didn't go easy on you.
Hell yeah, dude. I want my ass raw by the end of this.
So what are you going with?
Give me number of words in year.
Number of words is 1.
Okay.
Year's 2007.
2007, one word. I'm rolling through the horror catalog in my head, and I'm not coming up with a lot. 2007, that's like The Descent, House of Wax, fucking. Those aren't the years at all, but it's like around that time. I can't do my letterbox score because it's probably not there. Fuck, dude. Let me look at my options. I'm gonna need another level.
Definitely need something.
Do I have a letterbox score for it, or is it not there?
No.
Fucking shit. I can't think of anything else that's gonna help me in this scenario. I definitely know none of the actors and actresses are gonna help me. Give me, this might sound dumb, but give me the genre.
The genre is horror mystery.
Horror mystery. One word. I have a guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to sound dumb because the year's probably way off.
Okay.
Is it Saw?
No.
Fuck.
You're at 28.
What year did Saw come out?
2004.
Fuck. I don't know. I don't
guess
know.
more.
I mean, you can give me every category.
You don't need every category.
Give me the lead actor.
John Cusack.
1408.
Yeah. See how
Holy
you
shit.
just guess and then you figure it out and you don't have to just give up instantly?
That's so weird when you're doing the real reveal if it like starts with a number or if the name of the movie is a number. It always sucks.
Why does it suck?
Because it's not technically like that's not a word. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's one
It's
character.
one like thing, yeah. It's not even one character.
Like if you were typing an essay and you had to do 500 words, you type that and then there's 499 left.
I've never done an essay.
Skill issue.
Well, I've never done an essay that they counted numbers as words, but
So you were at 28 and then 25, 53.
I think I still beat you.
I think we tied.
Oh no, you were at 52.
Oh.
You beat me by 1 point.
Yeah, that's what
You
happens.
squeaked through.
That's what happens.
All right. Do you want to go next?
Yeah.
As in, you guess?
Yeah, I'll guess.
Okay.
Release year.
Release year 2001.
Dude,
if you do this again, that's gonna be crazy.
Pulse.
Okay. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? That had other options. That had a decent amount of other options.
Jeepers Creepers.
I could have done Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, you could have.
That's just wild, dude. All right, fuck it. What's yours, dude? What's yours?
You have to guess a
God
category.
I'm starting a different podcast. I'm getting number of words in the year.
Number of words is 1. Year's 2017.
2017. Fairly recent. It's not any of the Halloween remake sequels. It's none of the Alien movies. It's not. Oh. Is it Us?
No.
Fuck.
That is 2019.
2019? I'm getting a little better with the years. I'm getting a little bit tighter with my grouping.
Is that what he calls it?
Okay. Horror movies, one word, 2017.
21 points.
Do I have a score?
Well, you
for
already
this one?
lost, but
Yeah.
we're still just keeping track.
Do I have a letterbox score on this one?
No.
Dude, I'm the worst person ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything I'm thinking of is like 2 words.
I will say this is not something we ever talk about, and you probably don't even remember that it exists.
Oh, awesome. That's stupendous, dude. No, that's a good pick. Those are always the best ones. God bless. It's probably a dog shit movie.
Not really.
What's the average letterbox score?
3.
3? That's not bad for a horror movie. That's not bad at all.
5, 10, 14, 26.
Give me the lead actor.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
My mind instantly went to Velvet Buzzsaw. It's not that. Jake Gyllenhaal in a horror movie with 1 word. The fuck did he do?
That's the question.
This is crazy what you're doing to me right now. That's absolutely absurd. Oh my god. Is it Nightcrawler?
No.
Okay.
There's 5 points. 56 right now. Chief.
I'm trying to think of a horror movie with Jake Gyllenhaal in it. He did The Guilty, but that's not a fucking horror movie.
Sure isn't.
It's not, barely even a fucking movie, dude. It's not Prisoners. Dude, I'm really having a hard time with this.
Yep.
I don't know.
You know, I said that I gave you a hint and said you probably forgot this movie existed, and then you guessed Nightcrawler.
Well, it's the only one word like movie where.
But obviously, like that wouldn't.
Yeah,
like, you just wasted points there. Like you wouldn't forget about Nightcrawler.
No, not at all. Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Guess you gotta pull off another actor.
Second actor.
Ryan Reynolds.
So a movie came to mind. If it's this movie, I'm going to be
They've
frustrated.
done one movie together. So if you thought of one that they're both in,
well, I don't
it's
know
that.
for sure that Jake Gyllenhaal is in this movie.
Okay.
And even if he was, I don't think he would be the lead actor. I think it would be Ryan himself. But I barely remember anything about this fucking movie. Oh, it's not the movie I was thinking of. Fucking Life.
Yep.
I've never even seen
Life.
that.
Yep. Snooze you lose.
That was a really good pick.
What were you gonna say?
Don't worry about that, pal.
What were you gonna say?
Don't worry about what I was gonna say.
You're gonna tell me. That's the thing, though.
So I was gonna guess Buried, because all I remember about Buried.
You're gonna guess the one movie with one guy in it.
I didn't know who else.
And you know the one guy's Ryan Reynolds.
All I remember was that he was buried alive, and I guess a serial killer had got him. I was like, maybe that would be a horror movie. But then I was like, who the fuck else is in that movie? Maybe Jake Gyllenhaal's a cop. I don't know. He always plays cops.
That's an embarrassing guess.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to tell you. And then, you know what? You twisted my arm into it.
Yep, and then I laughed at you. That's what happened. But
that was a great pick.
Yeah, I mean it was hard, but I feel like I always go easy on yours.
You do. I'm glad you did. That was good.
Yeah.
The polls saying though, you're weird. You're 100%. You're weird.
I mean, says you.
You probably.
I mean,
dude, I guarantee if I open up that closet right there, there's probably like jars with dead animals in it. You're a freak.
That would be crazy though. Like that would never happen.
Yeah, sure.
But stay away from there.
Yeah.
But next up, we got Letterboxd reviews.
Yep.
My first one, Alex Todd, 4.5.
Okay.
Gotta respect a man with a hobby.
It's so simple. Is it Silence of the Lambs?
No.
Shit.
Shoebox. Sorry, I know that sounded odd in the audio, but we have Terrifier 2 on in the background, and when me and Carl were watching this, there's a scene where Jonathan's in class, and his classmate has this stupidest haircut.
Yeah,
and
dude, it's
we were watching it, and I was like, why does that kid have a shoebox on his head?
Yeah, dude.
So it came up again, so I said shoebox. That's the context.
Is it The Collector?
It's not The Collector. It's American Psycho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This one is by Single White Femme Alien.
I think I've seen one of her reviews before.
Mm-hmm. No stars, just the words. Good lamps in this.
I think I was gonna use her review one time. I try to remember what movie it was for. Is it The Open House?
No.
Good lamps in this. I've seen that review, dude. I was gonna use it one time. I totally forgot what movie it was.
It's for Vacancy.
Vacancy?
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
It would work for any movie. But
Yeah.
I guess since it's a hotel room, there are a lot of lamps.
Yeah.
And then I got Jay Schmoney, 3.5. So disgusting and disturbing. I had to walk out 125 minutes in. The joke is that the movie's 125 minutes long.
That's the whole duration.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah, I got it. Just not the best.
Wow.
I don't know.
You're one to talk after that one review you had that was the most unfunny thing I've ever heard.
I'm paying you back, dude. I didn't like that one. Not good. Not only do I deserve better, but our viewer deserves better.
What about this one by Connie? Shaking my head every time Art kills someone so the theater knows I'm against murder.
That one's Terrifier.
Yeah. They were both Terrifier 3.
Oh, okay. I saw one that I was going to use, but it was for I Saw the Devil, and someone said I would never do the things in this movie.
Dude, I almost picked that one.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
All right. My letterbox reviews. I feel like I did pretty decent this go round, but we'll see. You never know with you. All right. This is the most unfunny one I have.
Okay.
I'm letting you know right now. The Texas Backshot Massacre. I didn't do any introduction to the person.
It Follows?
No. This is by Let Me Explain. He gave it a 3.5. Backshots is in sex.
I know.
Yeah.
Fucking... I don't know.
Coitus. That's for X.
Ah.
Yeah. They're in a shack, like a cabin.
Yep. Checks out.
Doing intercourse. All right. This is from Bobby. He gave it a...
It's already funny.
He gave it a 3-star. This one got me. I was taking a shit and I was trying not to laugh out loud. But that one guy's dick and balls were insane. What was going on there? And dude, once I remembered this, like, what I think he's talking about, he is 100% right. I don't think you're gonna guess this, but you can try. No, not Lamb. That was just a good set of dick and balls. These are fucked up dicks and balls.
I don't know.
It was Infinity Pool. Do you remember that old guy that they like stood up and he had like pudge flaps around his dick and balls?
No.
You don't?
I don't remember it.
If you get a chance, dude, Google Infinity Pool dick.
Okay.
You'll get some Skarsgård penis, which is a plus.
Yeah.
And you gotta go through to find the old guy's dick and balls.
Okay. I'll investigate.
Yeah, that was crazy. All right, this next one is from Haunted Hippie. She gave it a 4-star. This should happen to Jimmy Kimmel.
Late Night with the Devil.
Hell yeah.
Yep, fuck Jimmy Kimmel.
Yep.
That's what I say.
Not the coolest guy.
Next up, we're trying a game for the first time.
I have no idea. I'm walking into this blind, fellas.
Yeah, so all you gotta do is pull up a number generator on Google.
I will Google number generator.
And pull up a number, or like type in 1 through 10. It'll, like, for the range.
Okay.
And then we'll do you first. So hit generate.
Okay.
Don't tell me what it is. And now I have to guess what it is based on like 3 questions I ask you. So, for example, if I had the number 10 and you said, give me a Batman movie based on this number, I'd say the Batman.
Because it's the highest.
Yeah, it's because it's the best.
Okay.
And if I had 2, I would say like Batman and Robin.
Okay.
Or like The Killing Joke or something.
Okay.
So yeah, I get 3 questions to try to figure out what number it is.
Now, okay.
And I can specify like a Batman movie based on my ratings or based on your ratings.
Oh, okay.
Or, whatever. Because like I have certain movies higher than you, like BVS.
Yeah.
So, but I'll go ahead and I'll start with that. I'll say give me a Batman movie based on my ratings.
The Batman.
Oh, it's a 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you did that as an example, immediately got worried.
Oh, okay.
But that's fine. It worked out.
All right. Now I'll pull one up. Okay.
Give me a horror movie based on my ratings.
Insidious: The Red Door.
1.
You think that's a 1?
I hate Insidious.
You get 3 questions, so
okay.
You're not supposed to guess yet. I guess because I knew there would be nothing.
Oh, okay.
It would have to be a 10.
All right.
If it was a 1, I would have said The Open House.
I fucking hate The Red Door. Yeah, that's true. I forget that that's a horror movie. The Open House, because it's bad. All right, let me ask another one then. Give me a action movie based on my ratings.
Action movie. Ambulance.
2.
You want to guess one more?
One more number?
Yeah.
3.
Do you want to ask one more question?
Okay. You said, do you want to guess one more? And I said, one more number. And you said,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess I said it wrong, but I meant, do you want to ask another question? You get 3 questions.
Okay. Give me a Batman movie based on this.
That's hard for me because like every Batman movie is like a 10. But I'd say probably say The Killing Joke. Maybe not The Killing Joke. I'd say Batman 66.
Is that going to get you into trouble?
I mean, that could be misleading. I don't know. But I'd say that.
Is it a 4?
It is a 4.
Jeez.
And also, just for the record, I said Insidious: The Red Door because it's 1 through 10. So whatever is at a 4 would be a 2 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So I said, what's a horror movie? Carl would have it a 2. And I thought of Insidious: The Red Door, and that's exactly what you have it at.
I didn't put that math together. I just immediately thought hate. I should probably lower it down from 2.
I just want that to be clear.
No, yeah.
For some reason, you think Insidious: The Red Door is the worst movie ever made. But I was locked the fuck in when I picked it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I was exactly right.
You crushed it. Once you walked me through the math, yeah. Yeah.
You had to get walked through.
Yeah, once you showed me your work, I was like, yeah, he got there.
All right, do another one.
Another number?
Yeah. We'll do 2 each.
All right. Who's first?
Give me a director.
Todd Phillips.
E.
Think about that for a second.
Give me a Give me a Harry Potter character.
Okay. That's a good one. I will do the Dark Arts fraud from Chamber of Secrets. I don't remember his name.
Not Tom Riddle.
No, not Tom Riddle. The guy that was like pretending to be this like cool guy, but he's actually never been in like a fight before.
I don't even remember him.
He turns Harry Potter's arm into rubber when he breaks his arm.
I don't remember him. Chamber of Secrets is mid.
It is not that good.
Mid Merv Secrets.
Merv Secrets.
Got him.
All right.
I feel like she gave me Todd Phillips. Was Harry Potter my second or third?
Second. You got one more.
Oh, that's all I have. Okay, so Todd Phillips, some random guy from Chamber of Secrets. Give me a horror movie.
A horror movie based on this. Based on what I have or what you have? A horror movie.
What I have.
I'm trying to think of a movie you have that's around this. I think The Conjuring 3. Devil Made Me Do It, whichever one that is. I think that's close to what you have.
That's given me 4 vibes.
It's not a 4.
Because when you said Todd Phillips, I was thinking a 5 or a 6. But then you gave me some random Harry Potter guy.
Well, I think if you knew the character, you would probably understand why I picked him a little bit more.
I mean, well, I don't. So that's the issue.
Take him out of your head.
And then you gave me, The Conjuring 3, which I hated. So
you're really close.
Is it a 5?
It's a 5.
You think Conjuring the Devil Made Me Do It's a 5?
I thought you had it like a... I kept on going through movies and I couldn't remember if you had like 2 or a 2.5. So I tried to get somewhere close.
No, I'm pretty sure The Devil Made Me Do It is a 1.5.
1.5?
I'm pretty sure.
I almost did Terrifier because I thought you had Terrifier at 2.
I do have it at a 2.
That would have been more helpful.
Yep. So we need to do one more for you?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead.
Give me a horror movie icon.
Pinhead.
Okay. Is that, you said Pinhead is how much you like the character, how much I like the character?
Both.
Okay. You really ripped Pinhead off quick. Give me... Give me a Ryan Gosling movie based on the number.
I don't want to mislead you. I'm going to say... Only God Forgives.
That makes me think it's pretty low. Okay.
The man just doesn't do a lot of bad movies, so what do you want?
I'm going to say 3.
You get another question.
That was all 3. Horror movie icons.
And Ryan Gosling.
That's the only 2 I asked? Oh. Give me a celebrity penis.
Sebastian Stan.
Okay, so it's probably lower than a 3. No, he's got a good shape to his wang. So I've got Sebastian Stan, Only God Forgives, Pinhead.
The Holy Trinity.
I'm gonna stick with 3.
3's right.
Hell yeah.
I was debating between Only God Forgives and The Gray Man. But I feel like The Gray Man gives off more like 5 vibes than 3.
No, you did good.
But he just doesn't, like, he doesn't do any bad movies, really. So it's like, Only God Forgives, when I hear that's like, okay, it's like a 1 or a 2.
Yeah.
But there is no middle ground for him. It's like, that's the only bad movie he's made. So
yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
All your options were good. I would have also accepted Tom Hardy for the
I thought about
question.
Tom Hardy, but I went with Sebastian Stan because both of them have small cocks, but I love Tom Hardy, so that could be misleading.
Yeah. His physical prowess.
Because like, I don't ever want to I don't ever want to shit on Tom Hardy.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I don't mind shitting on Sebastian Stan. So
yeah,
that's why I went with that.
Great answers.
Yeah,
you led me down there with the fucking. You held my hand through the whole thing.
Yeah, that was fun. Now we'll get into the old watch list. I don't have much at all.
Oh, I brought my fucking A game, dude.
About time.
I mean,
it's about time that happened.
Been bringing it pretty. This is the second time I've brought it, dude. I'll bring it again. I'll keep bringing it.
First up on my list was a recommendation from my pal Ben, and that is Kiyoshi Kurosawa's Cure.
This is a big deal. This movie.
It is, and I just want y'all to know. Me and Carl watched this together, sort of, because we started it together. Yep. He started falling asleep multiple times, went to bed. I finished it alone. And then the next day, he finished it and asked me what I thought of it. And I said I thought it was good. And he called me pretentious.
Yeah, I did. I did do that. Yeah.
And he went on he started to say more sentences about you can go around and fucking act like you like this stuff.
Well, hang on. Whoa. You're trying to paint me in a light.
I am. I'm not.
No, you're
telling the
truth.
truth.
This is what happened. I said, you said you liked it, and I was like, dang, I'm not really. I didn't really like it. And you went, I don't know. Try not being dumb.
I was obviously being funny.
And then you said, and then I was like, I don't know, dude. I was like, I was really having trouble, staying awake, dude. That was rough to get through. And you were like, I don't know, open your eyes. Sorry, try liking good stuff. And then I started calling you pretentious to be an asshole back. But this movie, Cure, I highly encourage everyone to watch it. I gave it a 2.5 on my Letterboxd review. Normally, I sit and chew on stuff for a little bit more, but I wanted to put something out to track my thought process. Because what I do is I'll like make a judgment, and then depending on how much the movie sticks with me, that'll change it periodically. And Cure fucking plagued my thoughts for that entire day. And like we had a little bit of a discourse about it before you just kept calling me a moron. And I was like asking all these questions. I wanted to do a rewatch. I didn't get around to it, but like I desire a rewatch to answer questions that I have about the movie. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a big deal. I think that speaks to what the movie is showing you if you feel that way.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's going to wind up going up. I mean, just off of how much I've thought about it alone, it's definitely up a full, star. It's probably like a 3.5 right now on my scale, and then once I actually watch it and the pieces start falling together, it'll probably go up higher. Mm-hmm. But the concept of Cure, the characters, the visuals are incredible. Kurosawa's fucking popping off in this thing. Every shot looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Whether it's like the main guy, Takanabe, like there's a shot where he's just like walking
I don't know
down the
what
street.
it is about that man's name that you cannot remember.
Oh, what is it?
It is wrong every time you say it.
What is it?
It's Takabe.
Takabe. Okay. So, but Takabe will just be like walking down the street, and you'll see like just like the city behind him. It's so good visually, but I think it was too big brain for me. I didn't have my head around it, and I definitely want to watch it again.
Yeah, so I first off, I'm in the process of making a YouTube video on Cure. So I'll save some of my thoughts
video
for
essay?
that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'll save a lot of my thoughts for that, but basically I watched Cure and I didn't like fully understand it per se. I was intrigued by it, and I had a good time watching it, but I guess like it ended and it wasn't as clear. It didn't end up like clearing things up as much as I thought it would. And it's a movie that requires you to think about it more and research it if you want. And I did that, and that helped me a lot too. There's a lot of like it's such a open-ended film that so many people have made theories on certain things, and I read this like Reddit post on this guy's analysis of it, and it was really interesting. And like so I started reading all that stuff, watching videos, and just thinking about it more, and then I went back to like rewatch it and take notes and like pay closer attention to it for like the video I'm making, and everything just started to like click into place. And little things that I didn't notice, didn't even know what was really going on, now I'm starting to know what's going on. And there's just not really a movie like Cure. I just haven't really seen anything like it before, for lots of different reasons, but I just think the direction is so good. The way that he sort of makes it like he's trying to hypnotize you. There's no score except for basically the opening scene. There's some music, but there's no score, and he does this thing where he like in Takabe's house, he'll have like a dryer running, and you'll just hear the dryer on loop, just over and over again. And there's always like some sound that's like repeating over and over again that can almost like put you to sleep.
Yeah. And
it becomes very like hypnotic. And the editing choices too. There's scenes where you think that your like streaming player glitched, because sometimes a streaming player, like after an ad, it'll like cut back to the previous scene real quick and then cut to the scene you're at.
Yeah.
And like there's stuff like that and you're like, what the hell was that? So it's just edited very brilliantly, and the acting is so fucking good. I can't remember his name. Koji Yakusho. Probably pronouncing it wrong. But he's the fucking man. He's in Perfect Days. He's the fucking guy, man. I love that dude. I will watch whatever he's in.
Oh my god, that is the same guy.
Yeah.
I did not put that together when we were watching Cure.
Yeah. He's the fucking man.
Yeah.
He's also in Pulse and Tempopo.
I want to rewatch Pulse now. This movie made me want to rewatch Pulse.
Yeah.
Because I think that
Pulse,
this director has so much to say. Like all of his movies are so layered. Pulse and this, not all of them. I haven't seen all of them, but like Pulse and this seem like there's a lot to dig into. I just had even after we finished Pulse, I was like, that was good, but I didn't really dig into it anymore.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could.
I think Pulse is creepier visually, and Cure is creepier ideologically.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say anything about the plot of Cure because I think it's best if you just go in blind. I went in blind and didn't know. All I knew was that someone kind of said it had similar vibes to Seven. That's all I knew. And
do you think that after watching Cure, do you think that that's accurate?
Sort of. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's inaccurate. It's just there's nothing like Cure, so it's hard to say it's like anything.
Yeah.
Anything you say is going to be a little off. But in terms of like the mind state you want to be in and like the time of day you watch it, it's pretty similar to Seven.
Did it go up any more than like when we finished it? I think you had it like a 4. Did it go up any more at all?
No, it was 3.5. Now it's at a 4, but whenever I finish my rewatch, it'll go up. It'll definitely go up.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I don't want to get into really any kind of spoilers or give people any kind of idea about what it's about, but like don't be afraid if you don't like it initially. It's a movie that I think will grow on just about anyone the more you watch it. Mm-hmm. And that's a huge deal. Rewatchability and like being able to like dive into stuff I think helps a lot with all like any movie that I like. I feel like has some element of that. There's some that are simple that I just really like, they're just done well, but this one in particular, there's a lot that you can pick up on like even after 3 or 4 rewatches. I feel like you're going to be finding different stuff, different symbolic meanings of what's going on, or different trails that you can go down to figure stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's also just a movie where they don't spoon feed you information, and they leave a lot. Like he'll cut scenes super early.
Yeah,
he'll cut scenes when it feels like you're in the middle of them. So he leaves a lot for you to piece together on your own. And that can be frustrating for some people, but for me, I really enjoy it. It makes it feel more earned when you're putting everything together.
Yeah.
And it makes movies like that make you feel like you're a part of it and you're also trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Versus when a movie's just telling you everything, there's nothing for you to do.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there watching it. But when you watch Cure, you're actively like trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's something that's really cool about it. But I think once you understand what's going on and you think about the movie, there's no scene like in Cure that I find very creepy, but like what Cure is about is creepy, and like the idea of it is creepy to think about. So
the only thing I'll say is I do think that the opening sequence with the song, I think in like once you've seen the movie and you know what's going on, I think that scene is more creepy.
Yeah, I have a section of my video on that, so I'll talk about that.
Yeah, it's a very different kind, and I do think it is a horror movie.
Yeah,
Like I would consider it a horror movie just because I don't know. Again, without being able to talk much about what's going on, I think the idea of it is very frightening.
yeah. So without going into spoilers, that's about all I can say on it. But it's really growing on me, and I'm very fascinated with it.
Yeah.
So right now it's at a 4, but I'm sure that'll go up. And then my only other non-Terrifier log is Midnight Mass.
I saw what you
Which-
gave it a rating of while I was doing my
is
trivia.
why I don't have a lot on my watch list, because it's the equivalent of like 3 movies. So, because it's 7 hours. But I fucking adored Midnight Mass.
Yeah, dude.
I thought it was so fucking good. I think I like it more than Hill House.
That's not crazy.
I haven't seen Hill House in a couple years. And I'd say Hill House is scarier, but I think Midnight Mass is better.
Yeah, Hill House doesn't have a ton of rewatchability to it.
I don't know. Like when I think about what I loved about Hill House, it was how good the horror was done.
Yeah.
But Midnight Mass, everything is so well done. There's not a ton of horror. It kind of like ramps up as the show goes on. In the first episode, there's like a shot of horror, like one instance of horror, and then episode 2 is the same way, and then 3 there's like a little more, and then 4 there's a little more, and then 7's just like nuts.
Just nuts.
Yeah. So there's not a ton of horror, but it builds up to the horror in like one of the best, most natural ways I've ever seen. And I'm not sure how I can talk about it, because one of the main like parts of the show is a spoiler, because it's not in the marketing and it's not in the trailers, and you're not supposed to know about it going in. So I can't really like say what I want to say about it, but it's a show with it's a show about religion, and it takes a very like it doesn't feel preachy. It doesn't feel like this is right and this is right and this is wrong. It just feels like it's sort of, how do I say this?
Neutral?
Yeah, well, sort of, but like, I don't know. It's showing like the good and the bad of it, but dude, I can't. Like, the whole show is centered. What I think is so masterful about Midnight Mass is the relationship between religion and this other element of the show that I can't spoil. So I can't really talk about it, really.
Dang.
But I guess technically the performances are incredible. The visuals are incredible. It has a great sense of atmosphere with this like island that they're on.
Yeah.
It feels very claustrophobic. It's a really small town, and it has so much intrigue. He'll leave you off, like an episode will end with some reveal and you're like, what the hell was that? Now I gotta watch the next episode.
Yeah.
And Mike Flanagan loves his monologues, I tell you. That man loves monologues. And this is monologue central.
Well,
right
it
here.
makes sense in this movie. I mean, not to give too much of a spoiler, but it is called I haven't seen it, but it's called Midnight Mass. And I know there's a preacher, so there's probably a lot of room for like monologues and like giving subtext to stuff through like sermons and things like that, I'm assuming.
Well, he does that, but it's not just like preachers. It's just people just in their house. They'll just start yapping about shit. they'll just go on monologues about whatever.
Hell yeah.
And I love monologues, so not a problem to me at all. But if that bothers you, that might not be your favorite thing. But and it seems like some people. I was reading the Letterboxd reviews for Midnight Mass, and it seems like some people are fed up with Mike Flanagan's monologues, but I'm not. Man, give me more of them.
I guess sometimes it can feel unnatural because, like, people aren't going to normally go on big, long-winded, like, tirades like that.
Yeah. But I guess when they're just really well-written...
Yeah, I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. But it's a show that feels so insanely cohesive. You watch some shows and you're like, that storyline didn't really go anywhere, and like, what was the point of this? And like, it feels all over the place. Midnight Mass feels like such a genius idea where everything connects. Mm-hmm. Everything connects thematically and story-wise. Narratively, it connects. And it's like Mike Flanagan's, because Mike Flanagan does a lot of adaptations. And he loves Stephen King, so he did Dr. Sleep, and like Haunting of Hill House is a Shirley Jackson novel, and he adapts a lot of novels. And Midnight Mass wasn't an adaptation; it's completely his creation, and it's his like baby basically. I was listening to interviews with him, and it was like this project he's been working on for 10 to 15 years that he didn't know if he'd ever get to make. So it's sort of like how Nolan took 10 years like perfecting Inception.
Yeah.
And that's how like Midnight Mass feels like that too. Like it's just so tight and perfectly written and perfectly paced and so thematically cohesive. And once the horror gets going, it's good at it. Like it's good horror. So I was blown away by it. I love Mike Flanagan, and now I want to go watch like all of his other stuff. I don't really want to.
I would stay
have
away
to
from
rewatch House of Usher. Yeah. I've already seen like 4 or 5 episodes of it, and I just didn't really like it. I don't feel like having to rewatch those other episodes again, so I don't know if I will, because I'm just not big on shows. And they have to hook me. Yeah. Like I didn't have trouble watching Midnight Mass because it was that good. But when a show's not hooking me and I'm 5 episodes in, I just have to stop. I
tune it out anyway.
Yeah.
Like, at that point I'm just like doing a chore.
Yeah.
And less watching it, you know.
Right. But his other movies I want to check out. I want to see Oculus and Gerald's Game, which isn't a movie I'd watch if it wasn't Mike Flanagan, but since it's him, I'll do it.
I did get a little bit of a spoiler for Gerald's Game, and there's a sequence in it that's pretty frightening.
Dude, I was so mad because I was listening to something about Gerald's Game, like I was listening to a podcast or a YouTube video or something. I think it was like a YouTube video called Underrated Horror Movies or something. Yeah. And then he like brought up Gerald's Game. And then he was like, and then the twist is that blank. Like, this isn't a video about Gerald's Game. You don't get to just spoil it. Like, not everyone's seen every movie in this.
I think that's the exact same video I watched because we were going through a list of different movies, and I think Gerald's Game was on there.
Dude, and he said, and the twist is, and I tried to skip it real quick, and then he just said it, and I was like, fuck you. Like. Dude. What is your problem?
He got in both our asses, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what that guy's issue is, but he needs to seek help. Yeah. But anyways, I want to watch all of Mike's stuff because he's just so fucking good. I think what he understands about horror is that things become scary when you care about the people on the screen.
Yes.
And that's why Hill House is so scary. And obviously, he's very talented with just crafting jump scares, crafting imagery, but a lot of people can do that. Yeah. But what he does is he crafts that, and he puts these characters on screen that you actually care if something happens to them. Mm-hmm. So, like, you know, when you watch damn Truth or Dare or some shit, there may be a scene that's like, that should be creepy, but probably, I'm just being nice, probably not. Yeah. But even if it was creepy, you don't care. These characters are just there to be killed, so you don't really care what happens. Yeah. Right. And Midnight Mass has some shocking moments. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's not your... You know, a lot of horror movies keep like a group of characters safe, and then the only people that die are like the weird cop character or like the neighbor or something that no one gives a shit about. Like, Midnight Mass is not like, it's no one's safe in Midnight Mass. They do crazy shit. Everyone go watch it. That's all I can really say without spoiling it. But it's incredible.
Heck yeah, dude.
But yeah, that's my only non-Terrifier watches.
I've got some stuff on my list here. So, first up, I watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil. And I kind of went through a series of horror comedies. Not like a ton, but you know, I got a couple on here. Tucker and Dale was really good, though. I thought it was really funny. The two main actors that play Tucker and Dale are really good together. The premise is funny, and
isn't one of them what's his name?
I don't know his
Alan
name.
Tudyk?
I think so. If I saw him, I would know. But yeah, I think that's his name. But yeah, it was really funny. It really worked for me, and there was a lot of heart in it too. Like, the main two characters are so like lovable, and then like some of the jokes they do are so funny. Like, the main jock guy in the movie has an inhaler, so he'll say something badass and like try and hype people up, and then he'll take a hit off his inhaler, and that's so funny to me. And like, I don't know, I don't want to reveal too much of the comedy, but I do think it's really good. I think that the ratings has got it is worth it.
Yeah, it's pretty highly rated by everybody.
Yeah. Next, I watched a movie that I don't think deserves the rating it has, but I watched The Love Witch.
Ew.
Which...
the hell was that?
I had no idea. Based on, like it had pretty decent reviews, and then the picture of it looked cool. And I thought it was going to be like another, like, cheesy, like, horror comedy type thing, where it's like Bewitched, you know, some stuff like that. But it's a really weird movie. It is a what's the word I'm looking for? Something color, Octacolor or something. Technicolor. So it looks great.
It's old.
I don't think it's super old. I think they just made it look old. I'm not sure. I mean, the setting is like an unspecified like time. But it looks fantastic. It was made in 2016. So it's not that old. But it's supposed to look old. And it looks great. They do a great job. But the characters act so weird. And I think there's supposed to be some like commentary over like how men perceive women, and like the ideal woman in like a man's head is supposed to be this witch, but to me it just doesn't really work. And like the main character has like some past trauma that we don't really see enough of to like understand her ideology. And then even like the witchcraft stuff, she just like starts doing weird shit, and we don't I can't find a purpose behind why she's doing this weird shit. If she's like doing a spell, then it's like, okay, you know, what's she trying to do with this spell?
Yeah.
But it seems like she's just a fucking weirdo. And I don't get it. And there wasn't a lot of comedy either. I don't think it's supposed to be funny, but I did see people say that there were some funny elements that were supposed to be there. Didn't work for me. Didn't really like it. The commentary didn't work for me. It was basically just visuals, and that's it. Did get to see some penis, though.
Hell yeah.
That's
What's
a
this
big
called?
plus. the Love Witch. But I think I gave it like a 2, which is probably generous. I would never watch it again. The average Letterboxd score is a 3.5, so not as good as I thought it was.
Interesting.
The next one I watched is a movie called Final Prayer or Borderlands. One of the two.
Watching a lot of weird movies.
I got a lot of movies on my list that I want to watch. This is a found footage movie, which I've been really enjoying found footage movies.
Mm-hmm.
This one wasn't quite as good, but they do develop the main two characters you get. Like, they develop them pretty well to where you do care about them, and they have a pretty good relationship. And the idea behind it is cool, what they're like trying to do. The premise is that, like, and this one isn't like a huge spoiler, it's, you know, how it's marketed, but they're sent from like the Catholic Church to investigate possible miracles to see if they're like hoaxes or not. And they go out to this church and investigate weird stuff that was reported. And I think it suffers from like the Hell House syndrome, where like there's a lot of build up and then not a lot of payoff at the end. So it kind of fell flat for me. And it seemed like it was ramping up big time, but then it just kind of ends. So I think that was a big detriment to it, but it was okay. That's how I would describe it.
Okay.
The next thing I watched was Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Horrible title. Don't like long titles. I mean, work on it. You know, do better. But it was actually a pretty solid movie. I would say I enjoyed it. And just super unique. A super unique take on, like... it's kind of like Scream meets Creep a little bit. Is how I would best describe it. And like a lot of it's found footage, but then it'll cut to like an actual horror movie where it's like they're filming people. And the main guy they have playing, Leslie Vernon, he's got a lot of charisma. He says some crazy stuff, and it's so funny. He's like talking about how he can't pull people out of the closet and kill them because the closet is like a sacred place among murderers, and it's like symbolic of the womb. And I don't know, it's really funny, the stuff that he says. And like he'll like do something to set up like someone getting killed and be like, all right guys, we're in this, it's going, and like try and pump people up, but he's actively killing people. So it's really funny. I liked it. I think I gave it like a 3.
It doesn't sound like you gave it a 3.
What do you mean?
It sounds like you liked it a lot more than that.
I think I gave it like a 3 or 3.5. The problem is like when it transitions from this like mockumentary about a guy who's trying to be a serial killer to like it turns into like a horror movie of him being the serial killer. And I think I liked the beginning of like the funny part more than I liked the second half. But the next thing, this is a big one. I watched a movie called Dead Alive or Brain Dead. I think technically it's called Dead Alive.
You're watching a lot of movies with 2 titles.
I had no idea this had 2 titles until I tried to watch it and couldn't find it anywhere. But it's a fucking it's a crazy fucking movie, dude. I did not expect to like it as much as I did, but it's fucking awesome. It's a Peter Jackson horror movie. And I'd never heard of it before. It's all like practical effects, and he does like claymation in certain sequences, fucking puppets. It is wild. It's like up there with Evil Dead 2 wild. And
wow.
I fucking loved it, dude.
Hell yeah.
It is so funny. I was like laugh out loud fucking going nuts watching this movie. And I don't really want to say a ton about it because I think people should watch it. I think it's a sleeper pick. But it is so much fun, dude. It is fucking crazy.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, I would like out of everything on the list. If you don't like it, if you like don't watch, if you have to watch one thing, watch Dead Alive. I really liked it, dude. It's so fucking funny. And then the last thing I think I gave Dead Alive.
I'm surprised by your ratings.
I gave Dead Alive a 3.5. I should probably bump it up.
You're glazing the shit out of it, and you gave it a 3.5.
Yeah, I think I need to bump it up to a 4. It's something that I'm gonna watch often. I think I was comparing it to Evil Dead 2, and I think I have Evil Dead 2 at like a 3.5.
What?
Which I need to bump that up to.
What the hell is what are you doing?
I don't know. Let me look at what I have Evil Dead 2 at.
God, dude, be honest with your ratings. If you love something,
no, I got
give it a
Evil
review
Dead,
that you love it.
I got Evil Dead 2 at a 4. I think in my head I didn't like it as much as Evil Dead 2, but like after having watched it, I was like, it's fucking awesome. It needs to be a 4. The ending sequence is crazy. Get to see some giant tits.
Hell yeah.
Just the biggest tits you could ever think of, dude.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it is so much fun. And then the last movie I watched, another found footage movie, is Incantation. Incantation. Am I saying that right? Sounds weird when I say it, but it's like a very similar to the Blair Witch, and it's another like found footage video log type movie. And I thought it was really, really cool. It's probably not the scariest thing you'll ever see. There's a lot of elements that happen that like builds up the stakes, but you don't get a lot of actual like scares. There's a couple of like cheap jump scares here and there. It's not like riddled with it, but it's really good at building tension, and you care about the like you see like you care about the main characters so much, and like their suffering seems so real from like what's going on. And I borderline started crying during this.
Wow.
It was getting me. I think I started losing it like twice, which I don't think has ever happened except for like Hereditary. I think almost got me, but that's kind of it. It's the only one I can think of.
I think I've heard of it before.
Incantation.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Add it to the old watch list.
I've got it at a 3.5 just because it wasn't super scary, and I don't know how often I would rewatch it, but there is a twist in it. Like it's told in a non-linear fashion, so you're seeing like the consequences of actions and then what has caused those consequences almost at the same time, which is really cool once they reveal the twist of like what she's trying to do. I could maybe see it going up, but I don't know. I'd have to think about it more.
Cool.
To see how long it sits with me. But that's all the movies I watched.
Hell yeah.
Pretty fucking stacked.
Then we can go ahead and get into our Terrifier ranking.
Yep. I think ours are exactly the same.
I think they are. My 3 is Terrifier.
My 3 is Terrifier.
By a wide margin.
Yeah.
I think the other 2 are close. I don't think this is close at all. I don't even really like this movie. I don't think I would watch it again. It's just, like I said when we talked about it before, it just feels like a proof of concept and a look at Art the Clown, isn't he cool? Wouldn't you want to see him in a better movie with a bigger budget? Like, that's kind of how it feels. There's no story. The characters aren't good. You're not rooting for really any of them. It's just Damien Leone showing off his character and his practical effects and makeup, and That's kind of it. And it's there's just not really much there for me.
Yeah.
With Terrifier 1. The comedy's not as good. There's no story. There's just there's kind of a switch in the character you're following at some point.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like it as much when that perspective switched. It's a 2 for me, but it's easily the worst.
Yeah.
And obviously we're not counting on Hallows' Eve because I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I don't know how that ties in with Terrifier, Art the Clown, or like any of the lore. I can't imagine it does a ton though, because Terrifier 1 doesn't really have a ton story-wise going on.
I don't think you have to watch it in terms of like understanding the story. It's just it is a part of the series, so I mean, if I had seen it, I would include it in this ranking. I just haven't seen it.
I gotcha.
My number 2 as of now is Terrifier 3.
I agree.
And we just watched it, and we saw it in theaters, and I had a good time. I like Terrifier 3 a lot. Well, maybe not a lot. I gave it a 3.
Yeah.
Which might be low, because the more I think about it, I kind of fucked with it a decent amount.
I was actually gonna say, like, the more I we're sitting here and Terrifier 2 is playing like as we're talking about this, and I'm not as big on the Terrifier movies as like other people are. Like I liked Terrifier 3. Terrifier 2's good, but like some people I think like love those movies, and I just don't think they're really for me. There's some sequences like I think Terrifier 3. I think the big problem with the Terrifier movies is that they like, without having a better word for it, but they're very gratuitous, and they'll linger on stuff that like you don't really have to linger on, or they'll just take their time. Like I think all the movies in the series, except for maybe Terrifier 1, just because Terrifier 1's not really saying anything, but 2 and 3 I feel like could have been cut down a good bit. You know what I mean?
Well, I sort of disagree. I do think that some scenes in Terrifier 2 probably could have been shortened, but Terrifier 2 is we're not I guess supposed to talk about it yet because it's number 1, but we'll talk about them both in tandem because it's easier to compare them. But Terrifier 2 is really long, and I was scared to watch it because of its length, because I had just seen Terrifier 1 and I was like, now I have to watch that for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But it wears its runtime so well, and there's so much going on that it never really felt long to me. It actually kind of felt like a natural runtime when I was watching it. And could that not hold up on a rewatch? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to find out. But some movies like Terrifier 1 felt long, and it was 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it was extremely short, and it felt long just because of the quality of the movie.
Yeah.
But Terrifier 2 felt shorter because of how much was going on. You've got these dream sequences, and one of them that goes on for like super long, right at the beginning at the Clown Cafe. You're getting all of Art's normal shenanigans. I think it's really funny when he's trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
And he just wants some candy. She's being a bitch.
Yeah.
Dude,
the Halloween store?
Yeah, the Halloween store.
So good. Trying
on the glasses and like cutting back to him. That bitch really funny. And him there's a shot where he opens up his trash bag and there's a fork in it.
Yeah.
And Carl
we
noticed
caught the
it.
fork, dude. Yeah.
I guess I was trying to talk more about 3 for now.
We can talk about 3.
I'm having trouble like getting out my thoughts on 3. I think that some of what you were saying with like you don't think the Terrifier movies are for you and you just think they're like pretty good, but the more I think about the Terrifier movies, the more I like them, because horror is a genre that's getting very stale, and it seems like so many of the horror movies that come out nowadays are so repetitive, and a lot of them are just like possession movies and stuff like The Conjuring and The Exorcist, you know, the new sequel, and it can all just start to feel The Nun. It can all just start to feel the same. And the Terrifier movies like occupy a space in the horror genre that I don't think exists right now. And what I mean by that is it's a horror comedy, which horror comedies exist, but they lean more comedy than horror. A horror comedy is like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
That is 90% comedy, 10% horror.
Yeah.
And like Evil Dead, same way.
Yeah.
That's comedy first, horror second.
Horror comedies exist too, but like no one's really making them much nowadays.
Right, that's true too. But Terrifier is like if the Saw movies or the Hostel movies were consistently funny throughout.
Yeah.
That's what Terrifier is, and that does not exist.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's been like one movie that's done that I haven't seen, but on a mainstream level in a franchise, that has never happened before. And it's so refreshing because horror movies are also normally really safe, and like there's certain lines they don't cross with like some horror movies try to create like bad guys for the villain to kill.
Yeah.
Like in a Halloween movie, the main character will have like a douchey ex-boyfriend that Michael Myers will go kill, and it's just like it's easy, like no one's gonna get upset about it. But Terrifier, they do some shit that like could upset people.
Yeah.
Especially in 3, like there is child murder in 3, and I think they do it tastefully. Like I think that you could definitely do that wrong, and like if they did like the bedroom scene in 2, if they did that with a kid, that would be too far.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see that. But like art is killing kids, but it's kind of like off screen.
Yeah.
And you don't have to see it.
Yeah.
But him just killing kids in general is like a huge barrier that they've crossed that most horror franchises and horror movies in general won't do. And I really can't think of any that do it.
One of the Halloweens did not too long ago.
He killed a kid?
Yeah. Because I remember being like, what the fuck? I think it was the initial 2018 remake that he kills a
Maybe
kid.
he did. I don't know.
But I think like he gets in the this kid gets in the truck, and then Michael Myers like grabs his face and like fucking strangles him or something.
Oh man. Maybe. But they cross the line and they don't give a fuck. The practical effects are super good. I've been watching a bunch of interviews with Damien Leone, and he's a super cool guy, and he's basically for the horror genre what Chad Stahelski is for the action genre. Mm-hmm. Where Chad Stahelski started out as a stuntman, so he knows stunts and action. That's his bread and butter. That's what he knows the best. So he made John Wick from the perspective of someone that knows the action genre.
Like, this is what
stunts.
I can pull off.
Yeah, he'll learn how to be a director, but he knows action.
Yeah.
And Damien Leone is that way for practical effects and makeup. That's what he's always done. And that's what he's really good at. So he made Terrifier, and he, for the first Terrifier movie, and I think the second one too, he did all the practical effects and makeup.
That's crazy.
And he's also the director. Like, that's so much to balance. And it's all, like, the practical effects and makeup are also really fucking good.
Yeah.
And also, since we're talking about 2 right now as well, I had no idea what Terrifier 2's budget was. I figured it was something pretty decent, because it was just such a step up from Terrifier, like visually. But Terrifier 2's budget was $250,000.
Holy shit!
Which to me instantly makes it one of the most, like, on a budgetary basis, one of the most impressive movies I've seen.
That is insane.
If I had to make a list of, like, movies that did the most with their budget, Terrifier 2's in the top 10 ever.
That is
like, that
crazy.
Is ridiculous for how long it is, for how much they had to shoot, and the horror scenes that they shoot are so extensive. Like the bedroom scene I was just talking about. Not cheap stuff to do at all. Super. It looks good. It looks a lot better visually. There's a lot more color. It's better shot. There's a really cool score. They have this like synth 80s type score that's really cool. So that's just super impressive that they were able to do that on a budget like that. But
yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, Damien Leone, he got his start with makeup and practical effects, so he does it for his Terrifier movies, and I think that's super awesome. And in 3, what should I say about 3? I think the comedy's maybe a little better. I'm having trouble remembering like how funny 2 was, because I think it's at an unfair advantage because we got to watch it at home.
Yeah,
and we got to make jokes.
There is elements to. I think the comedy in 2 is better, regardless of like us being able to make fun of certain sequences. Because the biggest things we made fun of was the fork, shoebox, and work on it. Was the
I was gonna bring this up. We had a great time watching Terrifier 2 because we got to like make jokes the whole time, and there was one scene where Carl made a comment that I could not control myself. It was the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. But it was Elliot Fulham. He plays Jonathan, and he's this like really skinny, lanky kid. And so there was a scene where he had to run, and he was running on the sidewalk, and he looked so stupid. His arms were like flailing, and it's just when like tall skinny people run, it looks really funny.
Yeah.
But he started running, and within like half a second, Carl went, "Dude, work on it."
It was so bad.
And I laughed for like 3 minutes straight. It was the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. Because we were thinking the same thing.
But no, they still had like the Halloween store sequence,
trick or treating, just a tip.
Yeah, like I think that there's more to point at into comedy wise than there was in 3. Because in 3, the funniest joke is him slapping her head over and over again.
It's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
That had to have been improv. I can't imagine you put that in a script. Like, that's something that you almost have to think of.
Yeah.
Like, in the moment.
But that's it, pretty much, that I can think of. I mean, there is some funny sequences. He always, like, every time Art tips his little hat, it's always funny to me. And there were overhearing people.
Yeah, him overhearing the true crime girl, and talking about like the most prolific serial killer since Jack the Ripper. He's like, "Oh, knock it off."
Yeah.
But
the bar sequence.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up the bar sequence. Like, he gets so giddy when he sees Santa.
Yeah.
And like sits on his lap and just fucks around with those guys for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
With Clint Howard.
Yeah, the only person scarier than Art is Clint Howard, dude. Yeah. It's the only person you don't want to run into aside from Art the Clown.
That's the scariest part of the movie is Clint Howard.
Clint Howard's
existing.
Face.
Yeah. But that sequence is really funny. He does his classic gun trick again.
Yeah.
Where he pulls out it like
dude, He gets like just so stone cold.
Yeah.
And, like he's got this bag of fucking medieval weapons that he's built, and then also just a Glock that he carries.
Yeah, pulls out a fucking pistol.
Yeah.
Starts torturing Santa using his like Mr. Freeze gun, and that was pretty awesome. Like really cool practical, like just creative, cool ways to kill people.
Yeah.
Like I think I've seen like freeze something and punch it, you know, a couple times in movies before, but like not often.
Yeah, and they've never like, I don't think they ever focus on it either. Like they never like, the first thing I thought of was Snowpiercer when they're like punishing that guy, but they cut away as they like hammer his arm.
Yeah,
and this one does not cut away.
Not cutting away
at all.
Damien Leone's not a fan of cutting away unless it's kids.
That shit's crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that 2 is funnier. And I think 2 also has, compared to 3, because apparently we were weird for liking 2 more.
Apparently.
But I think the story to 2 is cooler to me. It's got the synth soundtrack. It's got, I think, a little bit more comedy. Not by a ton.
I like the story more with Sienna and Jonathan.
Yeah.
The story to 3 is just not my favorite. I don't like what they did with Jonathan. They just pushed him to the side.
Yeah.
He's barely in it. And I prefer their dynamic in the first movie, and like them kind of going through tough times with their mom and her getting mad at him, and fucking Jonathan wanting to dress up as Art, and I just prefer that story.
Yeah.
To Sienna going to her like aunt's house.
Yeah.
Which I did think they did Sienna's story pretty well in 3. Because what's cool about 3 is like the basic thing to do would be is let Sienna get her get back on Art.
Yeah.
Because she went through so much in 2 that like 3 is where she gets revenge. But like they double down in 3. Yeah. And like they fuck her over even harder.
As hard as possible. And
now they're trying to set up, I guess, something pretty nuts in 4, which I hope. I hope what they're setting up is what I think it is, because it could be pretty fucking wild. Yeah, we'll get into spoilers, so if you don't want to hear about that, I mean, I feel like you kind of know that by now, that we're talking about spoilers with Terrifier, but it's in the title, so anything in the title, assume we'll go over spoilers. But the ending of 3, I think, carries it a lot. Yeah, it does. I was like not fully on board with 3 until the ending. I just thought it kind of like meandered, and it was kind of just like a montage for the most part of Art walking around killing people. Yeah. With like not much plot progression. With like 2, they expanded a lot. Yeah. They like expanded how Art is this like demonic entity, and they talked a lot about their dad, and there was like questions on how Art and their dad is connected, and I was hoping to kind of see that get played out in 3, and that didn't happen. Yeah. So it felt like not a ton really moved forward narratively, but the ending was just so badass that it carried a lot. It carried the movie kind of for me. But also what I was saying earlier with Terrifier and what makes it different and how it's a horror comedy, but it's horror first, comedy second. It also is like going batshit crazy with the world building and almost setting up like an Army of Darkness type Terrifier 4. Yeah. And they explained in 3 like something about, I don't know, demons and like having a host, and how that Victoria's like Art's host for, I don't know. I'd have to watch it again to like listen to all that again. But it's like, that's something else. Like both
Like, that movie has that, like, Terrifier 2 has somewhat of, like, an element that I don't really like, and they kind of expand on it more in Terrifier 3, but it's already a story element that I'm not a fan of.
What?
The demonic, like, entity next to Art.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Those are my two, like, things I don't like about 2 and 3 are the little girl in 2 and Vicky in 3.
Yeah.
I just think Art is so I just don't think a sidekick is necessary for Art at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Like he's such a great and entertaining character on his own, and you're just taking screen time away from him for people that aren't any fun.
Yeah, so I think that like they took basically an element from 2 that I wasn't a fan of, and that's what they expanded on in 3.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I feel like it's not quite as good. It doesn't grip me quite as much as 2 does.
Yeah.
Because the big expansion is the development of the demon of Vic, and less of Sienna's like being this chosen one, and Art being like her nemesis, and like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So I think what gets expanded on in 3 isn't really what I wanted expanded on, and it's already something that I'm not a huge fan of, like, period.
Yeah.
So that's why I think narratively I definitely prefer 2, and to me 3 kind of felt just as long as 2.
Yeah.
I think just because there's less projecting you forward, versus in 2 there's so much that pushes you forward. In 3 there is a lot of sequences of just killings happening, and it feels like it kind of drags, kind of like how 1 did a little bit.
I think it's probably because I could be wrong, but I think Art got more screen time in 3, and that could be why. Because, like, in 2, we get so much time with Jonathan and Sienna that even when we're not watching Art, like, you're still pretty invested in what's going on.
Yeah.
But in 3, it's like you're kind of banking on Art entertaining you.
Yeah.
And he is entertaining, and it does work, but it's just, I don't know.
You can't use him that much.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta have something else going on.
Yeah, I think so. But I do think, the Terrifier movies are, like, so their own, and so, like, they take inspiration here and there from other horror movies, but it's just because I'm a fan of horror, but original horror movies just don't come along often, and the Terrifier movies feel so distinct. And I just love how they're buying into the, like, fantastical elements of it.
Yeah.
Because if Art was just a guy in a clown suit, and he was just a human guy in a clown suit that was fucked up, that would be so not as good.
Yeah.
That would be so boring. But him being this, like, demonic presence that's, like, they cut his head off in 2, and he's not dead.
Yeah.
He came back in 3. So, like, people like that stay scary because you know that they can keep coming back.
Yeah.
And they'll probably set something up in, like, 4, maybe 5. I don't know how many they're going to make, but it seems like Damien Leone wants 4 to be the last one. They'll probably set something up like, well, the only way you can kill him is this. And then they'll probably go try to do that. But I just love wacky shit in horror. And that's why I love Malignant. And I just love that that's the direction that he took the Terrifier franchise. Because I think that's what, like, a big reason why it works so well. It's the combination of the fantastical elements, buying into the campiness and the weirdness, combined with the comedy, combined with the gore and the just not giving a fuck about like keeping everyone happy.
Yeah, dude.
So
I mean, I like that he doesn't give a fuck so much. Like, the bedroom sequence in 2 I don't like that sequence.
Because it upsets you?
Yeah, that like offends me.
What about when he shucks the guy's head in 3?
Shucks the guy's head.
Yeah, he cuts a guy's head open. He cuts the skin like right down the middle, and then shucks the skin down the skull.
Yeah, I do remember that now. That's like less. Like if he's doing something gross and it's just like quick, I don't mind as much. It's when it just like lingers on just like causing someone pain that like I don't quite like as much.
Oh, I mean, I don't.
Like
as long as Art's being entertaining while he's doing it, I don't really care.
I mean, yeah, if he's being goofy, like, but I feel like the bedroom sequence, he's not being super like goofy.
I don't know. That stuff just doesn't bother me.
I don't know. It doesn't like. I don't take it away from the movie, but like it is like something that I see. I'm like, that's not fun. I don't like that.
I mean, I do
but I'm still invested in the movie.
I like seeing them go that far, like go farther than other movies will.
I mean, yeah, like there's like they're gruesome. Like in 3, the chainsaw sequence didn't bother me as much as the bedroom sequence.
Yeah. I was talking to Alan, and he got really upset with the guy's leg in the shower scene.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Is it his leg or his arm? When he falls and, like, his... what even happened? It was like the joint was fucked up, so when he, like, pressed down on the ground, it, like, snapped.
Yeah, he had, like, partially cut into his leg, and then he took a step and it snapped the rest of the way. Like, that doesn't bother me. But, like, him fucking leaving a butchered girl to go get salt and bleach
that was
rub on her.
Dude, he was having a bad day. She should have given that man his candy.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Dude.
He did not give a fuck.
And then, like, that's probably the only sequence I've seen so far that, like, I was like, you're getting ridiculous.
For me personally, it's hard for me to get grossed out with gore, but I don't like cock and ball destruction.
Oh, yeah.
So that I'm not thrilled about
so
seeing.
You don't like just the tip?
Just the tip's fine.
Chainsaw sequence?
I'm talking about the chainsaw sequence, but like, yeah. I'm not sure why I don't like the chainsaw sequence, but just the tip doesn't bother me.
He did start with ass and taint, though.
Yeah. Maybe that's it.
Straight into the gooch with it, dude.
Yeah. But they did the same thing in Maxine, and it's just... No. Stop. Knock it off. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
That one gets under the old skin.
Yeah, but the ending of 3... also, the ending of 2 is fucking gnarly.
It's so
and
cool.
It's like it almost feels like a superhero movie with her grabbing the sword and like the music they play. Like so I got chills when she did that. Like, how is this happening?
And she's got the costume
this
on.
This is a horror movie.
Yeah.
About a mime that kills people. Like this should not be happening. But the ending of 2 is fucking crazy, and then the ending of 3 is what saved it. And it's the combination of the fantastical elements and like this pit to hell that opens up.
Yeah. That
Gabby falls down, which she like grabs Gabby's arm and is pulling her up, and I was like, okay, she's gonna save her because that's what always happens. And then she fucking drops her.
Yeah.
And she's in God knows where. So that's what they're setting up for 4. But these like people that this whole movie have been really sweet and nice, and then Art murders them off screen and like puts the dad's head on the Christmas tree and jams a tube down the mom's throat and puts rats in her and fucking just like awful shit. And then the daughter's seeing it.
Yeah, dude.
Like, that's crazy.
I will say this is a part in 3 that made me feel pretty fucked up in the head because I did start laughing. Like, the mom is basically a Pez dispenser, covered in blood, not moving, and the daughter comes up and goes, "Mom, Mom!"
Yeah.
I'm like, She didn't make it.
Yeah,
she didn't make it. She has a shard of glass stuck down her throat.
I thought that was odd. I was like, are you fucking stupid?
You can't live through that, dude. I'm sorry. I know you're a little girl, but come on.
The ibuprofen's not fixing this one.
Yeah, dude. Put some Vaseline on.
I thought that was funny too.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not super fucked up.
But also, I don't know if I told you this or if I just told it to like the boys, but I don't think that was Jonathan's head.
You definitely told me about it. I don't know if you told the boys.
I don't think that's Jonathan's head. I think that was Art fucking with her. Mm-hmm. I don't think they would kill Jonathan off screen like that. That's very distasteful.
Yeah.
I just think they have plans for him in 4, and I just don't like the fact that they didn't show it on screen, and it's a skinned head, so it can be anyone's head.
Yeah.
Like it could have been some guy he killed earlier in the movie that he just put in his trash bag. Like if it was like he could have he kept the skin on the dad's head at the top of the tree. You can see it's the dad's head. But this one, what do you know, doesn't have skin. So why did he keep skin on that one and not skin on this one? It's because it's not Jonathan. That's why.
Well, he does kill people in random way. He threw acid in one girl's face for no reason, which was crazy. But no, I agree because like it establishes that their whole desire is to strip the will from Sienna, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it makes sense for them to try and do that fake out.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I hope it's not Jonathan. If it is, like, I don't think it ruins anything, but it would feel weird that they
like if you're gonna kill Jonathan, you can make it a huge dramatic moment.
Yeah.
Why would you waste that on just here's his head?
Yeah. Plus we see her lie about it like a frame beforehand. She lies about it like just beforehand, and then like why would she not lie about it again?
Yeah. I don't think that's his head for sure. I think they're saving him for 4.
Yeah. I think he's got plans.
Mm-hmm. But I liked the look of 3 a lot. He did this like vintage retro look to the visuals where they put this film filter on it, and it feels like a 80s or a 90s movie, and the Christmas lights and the lights in general have this like glow around them, how it used to look on film, and just looks really cool. It doesn't look like a modern movie.
Yeah.
It looks like you're watching something that's old.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And the performances are great. David Howard Thornton as Art is still just... He is carrying these movies.
Yeah.
Just without even being able to talk.
That guy's a beast.
Yeah.
I hope they have some kind of apparatus so that he doesn't have to smile for...
Dude, I think he's smiling the whole
minutes
time.
straight.
Like, I watched them do his makeup. I think he's smiling like that the whole time.
Dude.
Like, they give him fake teeth, but he still has to use his like lip muscles to smile all the time.
That guy's got the strongest face in the game.
Yeah.
Hands down. Apparently there's a sequence that made him sick in 3 when they were recording. He like started to throw up.
I'm not sure if I know which one it was.
I don't know either. I mean, it could be a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it could be anything.
But apparently he said he actually started to like get. He was like that wasn't marketing. Like it was tough.
Yeah, but I also think Lauren Levera is incredible in these 2 movies.
Oh yeah,
because horror as a genre tends to get not the best actors, but she's actually like really, really good.
Yeah, and such a great final girl too.
Yeah.
To establish and build up, like, can't think of much recently that I was like, I like that character.
Yeah.
As like the protagonist of this.
Yeah. It feels like I haven't seen a ton of horror franchises like all the way through, so I don't know how they normally do it, but I'm typically not a fan of the whole follow one character movie after movie, how like Halloween follows Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
I'm sort of a bigger fan of like keep the villain and just have him fuck up new people every movie. But Terrifier is doing like the Laurie Strode method like really well, and I think that's kind of the way to go, because it's what keeps kind of bringing you back. Is like, for when Terrifier 4 starts coming out, like, yeah, we want to see art and we want to see him fuck people up and be silly, but we also want to see how the story ends and like where it goes. Yeah. So that's a whole nother like added dimension that most, like, we didn't say that when Halloween Ends came out. We were like, boy, I can't wait to see how this ends with Laurie and Michael.
Well, that's the thing too. Like,
it's like the story isn't good.
With, you know, a pretty decent vision of like how they want this story to play out. And the Halloween movies, I feel like, was just like, let's see how much longer we can milk this. Mm-hmm. And these are the two characters that we have to have.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of horror movies suffer from, like, they told their story, but now we want more money, so we have to tell another story with these characters.
Yeah.
And for some reason, no one views it as, let's just have these guys, let's just tell another story with this main problem, this main antagonist with new characters.
Yeah.
It's like, we have to bring back the old crew too, and it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah. But when you have a villain like Art too, you can kill him at the end of almost every movie and he can just come back.
Yeah.
So it's pretty easy to like keep the story going. But yeah, I think these movies are pretty fucking cool.
They are really cool.
They're very distinct, and I'm glad they exist, and they're super low budget and just really impressive what they're doing with the budget they have, and they have cult followings, and they're actually making good money in theaters. I think right now it's Terrifier 3 is at like $40 million.
Holy cow.
On like a $2 million budget. So
yeah,
just super profitable, super cool. And I'm excited to see 4.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for the Terrifier ranking. So last thing we're doing is just going through some horror franchises and saying like where the franchise is at, if they should reboot it, if they should keep going with what they're doing, if they should just drop it and like stop making movies in the franchise. So that's what we'll be doing.
Yeah. I actually had some trouble with this because I was trying to not do too many stop making them. And there's a lot that I think they need to stop making them.
If it's the truth, it's the truth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I did, I think I did 5.
Okay.
But I did wind up having to, I just had to do a couple, like, enough. Don't do it anymore.
Yeah. This is in no order at all. I just listed off a bunch of them. But first one up is Scream. And I think Scream is one where I'd say keep making Scream movies, but stop bringing characters back. Stop connecting them. Like, I want Scream to be an anthology where every Scream movie is a different group of characters. Mm-hmm. And it's just a new Ghostface with new characters and not connected at all. That's what I want. I feel like that's fun. I get so sick and tired of seeing like Gale in every movie, and fucking Dewey's the man. I get it.
Dewey's
the
exception.
homie, but like, I just think it gets messy and it gets a little stale, and just new people every movie. Keep it fresh. That's what I want from Scream.
I agree 100%. I think the lowest points of the new Scream movies is all the stuff involving the what do they call them? The core, like the original cast members. Yeah. I think all this, like, just keep it with the new stuff.
That's why 5 felt so cool at first, because it's like a reboot with all these young characters.
Yeah,
it's like, oh sweet, this is like new, and then 6 is like a sequel to that, and it's like now we're back reusing characters. What was your next one?
First one on my list is I have Nightmare on Elm Street.
That was and I'm in the same order too. What was your thoughts on this?
My thoughts, and I have a couple, like this one and one other one that I think is going to probably piss people off, but I think you do a reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street.
I agree. I think you recast them. You say thank you, Robert Englund.
Yeah,
thank
Robert
you for
Englund's
your
a fucking
services.
legend.
We won't be able to live up to your standard, but we gotta keep it trucking.
Yeah, and like what really made me think about this, and like obviously this is a bad movie, but the 2010 remake, Nightmare on Elm Street, Jackie Earle Haley could have been a amazing Freddy Krueger.
Yep,
that was a
good
bad
casting.
movie with a shitty story and bad effects for Freddy, but like Jackie fucking showed up to get shit done.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that didn't like live up to a higher level that it could have been, because I think he could have been great. And I'm not one of those people that think like the character dies if Robert Englund isn't playing him. Like there's plenty of talented actors that I think could pick it up and do a good job. Obviously Robert Englund is the gold standard, but there's other people that can do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they go with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think you want to reboot it. Freddy's too much fun of a character to just toss.
Yeah.
He's one of the few horror icons that I actually think is fun, because the big three is Freddy, Michael Myers, and Jason.
Yeah.
I think Jason sucks. I think Michael Myers is getting there to just sucking. Just not the most fun character. But Freddy is cracking jokes, and he's scary because he can kill you in your dreams, and he's got these knife hands, and he's just awesome. He's an awesome character, and I just want more. And I don't want to try to force like an 80-year-old Robert Englund to do it. I just want to start fresh and like just do casting. Like you can get talented actors to play roles.
Yeah.
Like it's not hard.
Yeah, you can make it happen. Like, and what's crazy is like people like always do the silent, slow walking like type people for their like slashers.
Mm-hmm.
But all those guys, I guess this is kind of a spoiler for like my list of movies, but like I would say like redo them, and then all the guys like Freddy and Chucky, I'm like reboot them. Give me those characters again. But like Michael Myers, I don't care if he comes back. I guess my number 2 on here is Halloween, and I said just make that an anthology, like what they wanted to do with 3, and just tell fucking cool horror stories.
Mm-hmm. Well, Halloween's tricky because for me, I don't want it to die, but I don't know what else you do. I don't know, like, if I was in charge of making the next Halloween movie, I don't know what you do.
Well, I don't think you bring Michael Myers back or any of the original.
But then it's not a Halloween movie.
But it can be though. Like I started 3. I didn't get to finish it, but I started 3 today, and the premise is so cool. And like, unfortunately, they got pigeonholed by like audiences that just wanted Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, that they couldn't like continue to do that. But I think just if like they could have just kept doing very Halloween vibe movies and just doing random stories and making it like just like, oh, this is the new Halloween movie, let's see what they do this time. Like that would be so cool.
I guess, but like that's I see what you're saying, but to me that's not really like an option. Like at this point the Halloween franchise is Michael Myers, and it's either keep making Michael Myers movies or don't make any Halloween movies. Those are like the two options.
If I can't do that, if I can't go anthology and just tell cool stories within that world, then I would say don't do any more Halloween movies.
But it sucks because like the Halloween theme song is so cool.
It is really cool.
And I get excited to go see Halloween movies in theaters, even when I know they're going to be horse shit. I just think they're fun. But like I really like you've squeezed all the juice out of Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
And like they've connected Michael so tightly with Laurie Strode that it's like now that she's, you know, like now that story's over, I don't know what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could just do an anthology where Michael Myers chases after new people every movie, but I don't know if that would work.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, Freddy, I don't know. Like,
it works with Freddy because like he
fun.
can haunt anywhere,
and he's fun.
Yeah,
he's entertaining. But like Michael doesn't talk, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think that if you can't go anthology, you just don't do those movies anymore.
Yeah,
unfortunately, or like maybe in years from now, you can do another reboot and try to bring him back. But as of right now, with what we have, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think I put in my notes for Nightmare on Elm Street. I think you reboot it like you said, and I think you have him terrorize a bunch of like Gen Z people, bunch of young idiots, like the fucking. It's giving period and all that fucking bullshit that they say and fucking I'm a damn Libra and all those people that annoy the shit out of us.
Slaughter them.
Just get Freddy to go fuck them up.
Yeah, dude.
Like that, like bodies with Freddy.
Yeah, you could.
That's what I want.
I want more great lines too, like "Welcome to prime time, bitch." Like, keep it going, dude. It'd be so cool.
Yeah. My next up was Chucky. I say let it die.
Whoa.
I don't think Chucky's scary. I think he was a product of his time, and I do not think we need any more Chucky movies.
I disagree. I really like Chucky as a character. I think Chucky would get a reboot at least for me. I think that's where I would go with it.
He did get a reboot, and it was poo.
So do a better one. Freddy Krueger got a reboot, and it was poo. And I still want him to be rebooted.
Yeah, but this was more recently.
I don't give a fuck. I like Chucky. He's hilarious.
I mean...
Do you know what the first words that Chucky says when... in Child's Play when she threatens to throw him in the fire?
You fucking bitch.
Yeah. That's all. Like, all she did was find out that he didn't have batteries the whole time. He says, "You fucking bitch," and then he slaps her and calls her a dumb slut.
Yeah, I mean,
like
if it was
so funny.
If it's funny, it could work.
Yeah, I think you lean into the funny and like just reboot the series. I think it would be really fun to see this fucking piece of shit doll talking trash to people as he's cutting them up. That would be great.
Yeah, it could work. I don't know.
Yeah, I like the Child's Play series. My next one is newer franchise, Insidious. Kill it. Should have been killed a bit ago.
I included Insidious and The Conjuring together. I said let them both die.
I'm fine with
no more from that.
No more.
That's quite enough from you, sir.
Yeah, dude. I mean, a lot of those possession movies, I do not want to see any more out of. Insidious, The Conjuring, fucking Annabelle, which is all part of that world.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any of that. I honestly, The Exorcist, I don't want any more Exorcist movies. I know we're getting them anyway. I don't want them.
Well, I said Conjuring, Insidious, let it die, knock it off. I said The Exorcist, knock it off unless you're Mike Flanagan.
I can accept that.
So we're cool.
Yeah.
We're cool with The Exorcist. Yeah. I legit would not be excited for an Exorcist movie unless it was Mike Flanagan or James Wan. And what do you know?
Yeah.
It's Mikey F. It's Flan God. So my next up was Friday the 13th.
Let it die.
There's never been a good one. I mean, why would we keep this? I haven't seen them.
Yeah,
I'm just joking. I've seen the first one and it's horseshit. It's malarkey.
Well, here's the thing. Like this, I have Friday the 13th on here too, and I don't really remember the most recent reboot, but I remember thinking that it was decent, and I just put just do another one of those. I feel like Friday the 13th, like, it's not like Halloween where it's been continued like throughout the years. I feel like Friday the 13th has had like a big break, and then it got was it 2009 that it got the remake, and then you can just do another one.
Dude, I just don't think there's anything interesting about Jason. Anything interesting or entertaining. I don't remember. Maybe when you watch those really goofy ones, like Jason Goes to Hell or Jason Takes Manhattan or some of that bullshit.
He punches that guy's head off.
That could be like goofy fun, but the serious the serious Jason that is in most of the movies, I just could not care less about watching those movies.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I don't think Jason is as fun when he's in the goofy movies. It's not like the same feeling you get with hyper goofy Freddy or hyper goofy Chucky with like the Bride of Chucky or the Seed of Chucky when his son keeps pissing his pants.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel the same because like he can't talk, he can't communicate. So it's more just like he has to kill people in funny ways, which I don't think is as cool.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe at the most just do like another one like the 2009 one, and then or just don't do it at all.
Yeah.
Just let the character. I mean, he has a cool design, and that's kind of all he has going for him.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got Friday the 13th on there too. The next one I have is the Evil Dead franchise.
Oh yeah, keep it spinning.
I put keep up the good work. That's what I put down.
Yeah.
Keep her rolling. You guys.
You get a pat on the back.
Yeah. Attaboy.
Yeah. You've never missed once.
That's all I got to say about Evil Dead.
Yeah. Hellraiser, fuck right the hell off.
I didn't.
Burn in hell. I do not give a shit about the hell. I've seen the first one, and that was too many. So, I'm good.
I didn't include Hellraiser, but yeah, I'm not a huge Hellraiser fan, and I don't know. Just after the first one, I don't know what the other ones are about, but fuck them. After the first one, I don't know what you do with what was set up, and I can't think of anything interesting that you would want to do.
Yeah.
So, forget about it, dude.
Yeah, to hell with it.
The coolest thing you could have done is what Hulu did, and you gave Pinhead tits. And, you know, maybe that works. I don't know. But
no. No one liked it.
No one liked it.
No.
I'm not a fan. Yeah, I say let that one go.
Yep.
My next one is the Alien franchise. And I say just write original stuff.
Yeah.
Stop trying to tie things back to the original Alien or Ripley or anything from the other movies. Stop that.
Well,
take a xenomorph and write a crew, write good characters or whatever you want to do. However you want them to encounter a xenomorph, make that happen.
So you don't want them to continue the world building that Prometheus and Covenant was doing?
No, you can do that too. Like, that's still like original. You know what I mean? Like, that's not tied directly to Ripley and like the other crew. I'd like with Romulus, the weakest points of Romulus was like callbacks to Alien and the fucking AI. I don't remember the guy's name. David from the original Alien. Like, if that was out of the movie, you just wrote that movie and just had characters in the Alien thing.
Yeah,
that would work. Or if you wanted to pick up the David storyline, I'd be happy with that too.
Yeah, I didn't write down Alien, but yeah, definitely don't just stop.
No, keep going.
They're all pretty good except for the 90s movies.
Yeah.
But more recently, like Covenant and Romulus and Prometheus, they've all been good. So
yeah,
keep it up. Children of the Corn, one was too many.
I had Children of the Corn. I just put stop.
Yeah,
that's such a dog shit franchise, dude.
Yeah,
I hate Children of the Corn.
You couldn't pay me to watch a Children of the Corn sequel.
Yeah, dude. All the people that did like watched all the Children of the Corn like in a row.
Yeah.
Send them overseas, dude. They can take whatever you throw at them. Like, they'll kill the fuck out of people, dude.
Yeah, like Evan.
Evan, brother, something good's gonna come your way soon. The suffering that you went through, I hope something good happens to you.
My next was Texas Chainsaw.
I have Texas Chainsaw. I'm excited to see what you say.
I said reboot it, but I don't. It's not a confident one.
Oh, I said stop.
See, I don't know, because I feel like Texas Chainsaw, it falls into like the Wrong Turn and The Hills Have Eyes type story, and I think those can be a lot of fun, or it can be really creepy, like getting stuck somewhere in like some hick town, and you got a bunch of like incest people that have like 3 eyes and like just start chasing you down.
Yeah,
like I don't know. There's I kind of like that subgenre.
I don't really, actually. Maybe that's why I was so quick to say stop it, but like, I don't really like that subgenre of like Hicktown, like weird woods people chasing you that are banging their sisters and stuff. Like Hills Have Eyes. I've never liked the Hills Have Eyes movies.
I feel like there's just so much room to do some weird shit.
I feel like the coolest thing I've seen done with Texas Chainsaw Massacre was like one of the remakes did this, like, I don't remember if the whole movie was set up like this or if it was just the ending, but they did like a little found footage thing and try to make it seem like Leatherface, like this really happened. And that's it. Like all the other ones that I've seen, that's all Texas Chainsaw Massacre, have sucked.
You didn't like Do Your Thing, cuz?
Best thing I've ever seen in my life. No, it's all been garbage since the original one.
Yeah.
And I think that one remake I'm thinking of was like okay, and the rest has just been bad.
Yeah. I feel like since the only good one is the first one, that's like it's only up from here.
Yeah.
Like it's not hard to make a decent Texas Chainsaw sequel.
I wouldn't even know what to do if I was doing another Texas Chainsaw movie, because like all you can do is just have new people going into the woods with Leatherface, because he's not like mobile. He's not like going around killing people.
Maybe you could make him mobile.
Then I feel like he's not as effective.
Then he's just Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah,
because what if he leaves Texas?
You get the Chicago, Texas,
the New York Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. He's in the subway just fucking screaming.
Yeah.
No, I feel like he's not as effective if you take him out of his setting, so that limits you there. And then like him as a character is just a guy that like wears skin. I don't know. I don't see.
You're saying that like it's a bad thing.
I don't see where you take the character that like any other movie. Even if you just did new characters coming in to like his realm, I feel like it would get tired very fast.
Yeah, maybe. Like I said, it's not a confident reboot it.
Yeah, people would probably.
But I do think
saying, like let it die. But
there's some room to make a pretty decent movie.
Yeah.
What did you have anything else?
The last one I threw in was the Terrifier franchise.
Oh, that was dumb.
Well, I thought it was like a nice little thing since we just talked about it, but keep doing crazy shit, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just dumb because it's like obvious, like what the answer is. Fucking keep them coming.
Yeah.
But I have Saw. I said keep it going as long as Tobin Bell is in it.
Yeah, I don't like all the I'm the copycat chainsaw or jigsaw. I don't like any of that stuff. It has never worked for me in any of the Saw movies. The only time I kind of liked it was when he had the lady apprentice, and that's been it.
Yeah. I like Saw 10 a lot. I thought that one was fucking awesome. And like I said, as long as it's Tobin Bell, I'm down. But
wasn't 10 not Tobin Bell?
What?
Which one was the one with like the laser on his head?
I don't know.
The Saw movies all run together to me.
I mean,
There was one that was like right before Jigsaw, Saw X.
you're out of your mind. Saw X was last year.
No, there's one before that like wasn't Tobin Bell. It was some guy. That was like another cop.
Spiral.
It might have been Spiral. I don't think it was. I don't know. Anytime they try to do a copycat in the Saw movies, I don't really like it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel as cool as when it's the old Bell man.
Yeah, I agree. Conjuring, Insidious, Paranormal Activity. Did you have a thought on that? I say reboot it. That's what I say. I think these movies can be really creepy.
Well, I don't know what direction they went with the Paranormal Activity movies because I didn't watch any of the other ones. I think I watched 1 and 2 and that was it. Because 2 was so bad, I was like, enough, sir. I'm full. And I didn't really like the first one that much, the ending of the first one. But I do think that they are very effective. This found footage, very subtle things happening are very effective horror that you can do. I just don't know how much they've explored it because it seems like they turned it almost into like an anthology. There's like different hauntings happening to people.
I think they did. I don't know how many I've seen. Maybe only the first one. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that found footage and like security footage can be a really creepy method for horror movies. And if you just get some talented people and get them to like reboot the franchise, like that could work.
Yeah.
And just get people who know what they're doing. But I think that like a new Paranormal Activity movie could be a lot creepier than some of the shit that like a Friday the 13th. Or,
yeah, I would be more excited if like someone talented did a Paranormal Activity movie than I would be if someone talented was like, we're gonna do a new Chainsaw Massacre or a new Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's so much more you can do just because there's not a lot of established rules or characters that have to be like involved in Paranormal Activity. It's just a haunting.
Yeah.
Like it could be anything.
Right. I guess that was it. The Exorcist and Evil Dead. So I guess we covered everything. Covered all of our bases.
Heck yeah, dude.
Let me see what comes, if anything's coming out. Oh, Smile 2, of course.
Nice.
What's that nice for?
Not for anything. Just nice.
Are you besmirching its good name?
I'm not the biggest fan of Smile. Tell you what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go on Amazon. However the fuck I can find a hard copy of Dead Alive, I'm going to get one. I need to own Dead Alive and Army of Darkness. Those two movies.
Pretty sure the common name is Brain Dead.
Well, in the movie it says Dead Alive, like in the title card.
Everywhere else it says Brain Dead.
I like the name Brain Dead a lot better.
So say it.
Well, that's not, like, I don't know which one.
Brain Dead. That's the one.
Well, the movie fucking opens up and says Dead Alive.
Yeah, well, at the beginning of Star Wars it says Star Wars, but now it's called A New Hope. So.
No, it's Star Wars A New Hope.
Yeah, because they changed it. It used to be Star Wars.
But it's still Star Wars.
What?
It's still Star Wars.
It's Star Wars A New Hope.
Yeah. But, like, Star Wars is still involved.
Yes, but they changed the name.
Yeah.
You understand that.
I'm saying, like, it doesn't open up and say fucking Grocery Store Chronicles. It still says Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah. I'm saying this is just a completely different name that they've attached to a movie, even though it opens up with a different name.
Yeah, but the director could have said, like, yeah, don't call it that. I'm going to call it Brain Dead. but the movie's already made, so they can't go back and change it.
I don't know. I'll do some research. Whatever Peter Jackson
Like,
says he
fucking
wanted to
Edge
be.
of Tomorrow used to be called Live, Die, Repeat. And then everyone was like, wait, that's stupid. So let's call it Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So now everyone calls it Edge of Tomorrow.
I'll see what the deal is with the name, but if Peter Jackson wanted it to be Dead Alive, you bet your bottom dollar.
I'm sure it is. That's what it's called on everything. I don't think he would intentionally give it a bad, stupid name he didn't want.
I don't know.
Anyways. Thank you, fellas, for listening to the old spooky scoop. Ooh. Oh my god.